I see.
When they
call me in there, he asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
I told him, I said, we are 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea. To carry to
the message, what do you want?
Tea. Have new tea.
No tea.
Yeah.
For you to drink.
Bread. 3 pieces of fruit bread.
The egg is that.
Into my butter. So we are carrying it to the main. Say carry to the main. And give it to the main. Then you come back to the car.
So the food make you now carry that so you can go convince your friend.
Yeah. When I give it to the main, the main say thank you. I say okay. The main say, where you going now? I say, I'm going where I so one of my friends call me.
And the same way we do now.
Yeah, I see now.
Then they say one for you to go steal.
Yeah. So when I go to the main, he say clean the car. Then there are 2 now.
The Jeep.
Then there are 2.
Big Jeep.
Yeah.
That
BG. Photo G. Yeah. So when I clean the car now,
air condition all is that.
No. Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the water now. You can judge people.
I'm just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people that can come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I'm breaking sorry.
The way you talk in the question, can I say when I move from here I'll free? Can I say when I move from here I'll free? You said one talk again. In fact, I wanted to mean who talk correct to you, but you talk in the question. Hi, looking. Then you want force and no more word there again. Why not be looking to the talk? I'm not going to again. And said they call me to the office of OSP.
I think it's made the minute you come to get you say you carry tea to the man. I say carry tea to the man and you come now. So what next now?
For me, I will not there.
Nobody you getting very say asking you too much question. Hey, there's people say make your egg and bread. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry. I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When give me answer now, then
Okay, explain again. I'm not asking no more questions again. Okay, that's why now.
Go to school. In the say and English.
Sorry.
See, Ali, you take that. You take that.
I taking time. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Say that can take that to
explain. Okay.
I'm filled with a profound sense of gratitude and humility. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your president and commander-in-chief for the past 6 years. Together, in 2018, we embarked on a journey to build a united, peaceful, and prosperous Liberia. And I am deeply thankful for the trust and support you have bestowed upon me and my administration during my tenure. As we navigate the complexity of governance, your partnership was instrumental in the development and implementation of policies and programs that aim to bring progress and development to our great nation. Reflecting on the accomplishment of these 6 years, let me tell you that I am proud of what we have achieved together. We have built roads, supported free wires and free tuition at high schools and public universities, stabilized the macroeconomic challenges we faced in 2018, built hundreds of pro-poor housing units, and achieved on so many fronts that we are able to list here today. However, I acknowledge that there is always room for improvement, and perhaps more could have been done under different circumstances. Regrettably, some of the long-term projects we initiated did not reach completion during my tenure. I am hopeful that the incoming administration will carry the torch forward and bring these initiatives to fruition for the benefit of all Liberians. Fellow compatriots, rumors, and misinformation have played a large part in our politics over the last 6 years. It is my hope we as a country will overcome this challenge over the next 6 years. To begin this, we must start with the facts of the transition. I must report to you that we are leaving behind a better economy than we inherited. Today, President-elect Joseph Nima Bouaka will inherit a stronger economy than I inherited. There is a bigger net international reserve position than was handed me in 2018. I inherited 94,999,000 United States dollars in net international reserves. And I am handing over to the next administration a net international reserve position of 222,700,000 United States dollars. This is 136% increase in the net international reserve position. The total cash balance in the government's consolidated account is United States $40,044,365.90. In 2018, my government inherited a consolidated cash position of $7 billion United States dollars. The next administration thus has more resources to deal with emergency macroeconomic challenges than my administration had at its disposal in 2018. My fellow citizens, through our time together, I have still fast to two cornerstones of leadership: keeping the peace and upholding the democratic process and the root of our democratic journey. I am immensely proud that during my tenure, Liberia remained at peace with itself and at peace with its neighbor. Our armed forces, the force of good, were never turned against our own people, and external actions were confined to international peacekeeping mission under the United Nations. This peace, sustained by our own domestic resources, is a testament to the maturity and strength of our nation. We protected the inalienable rights of every Liberian citizen as enshrined in our Constitution. Freedom of speech, assembly, and expression were not only preserved, but celebrated. There were no political prisoners or prisoners of conscience during my entire term, a testament to the development of strong democratic institutions that are now not only hailed as competent and professional, but as trusted and credible. Liberia is now regarded as a pillar of democracy in West Africa and a shining example to the world. This was only made possible through our various collaborative efforts. I want to thank all Liberians, regardless of their political affiliation, for staying the course and helping build a stronger and more vibrant nation. As I step aside as president of Liberia, I will remain actively engaged with the politics of the country as standard bearer and political leader of the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, in order to ensure the continuation of our strong and vibrant democracy. I therefore urge you, my fellow citizens, to continue to be law-abiding and seek peaceful means to resolve differences. Embrace tolerance and dialogue. Let us love one another and come together as one people, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us remember the strength of our unity, the resilience of our democracy, and the hope that lies in the future of Liberia. As we welcome a new era, let us move forward hands in hand with a shared commitment to building a united nation that will continue to strive on observing the tenets of democracy and adhering to the rule of law. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the Republic of Liberia.
Those who want to speak, to no one, liberation will everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about our effort to bring a new regime. They will sit down with happiness. We will make paper for that 79-year-old man. He's coming to me. Then before that, I will tell him how to shoot. I will tell the rest. I will bring one away. Then we do one more. I can't when you pass the
When you elect a clown and you think that he will be a king, what he does is to convert the kingdom into a circus. This is what we must deal with, and this is what we must say. Who do we elect into our public offices. Because, as I've said before, when you allow hyenas to take care of goats, why should you be surprised when the goats are eaten? This is the same. And Africa is only going to realize our potential in all areas when, by dint of choice, we enable and allow our best men and women to serve in different areas. I've heard it being said about Lee Kuan Yew in Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries. But there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region, as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual framework behind the charges against me. Now, with the two executive orders, the dogs were let out, so to speak. What followed was a dispatch of the attack pack led by Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, Defense Intelligence 30 years prosecutor. He, Crane, unlawfully unsealed the court's sealed indictment to his handlers, senior U.S. government officials at the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, and was never held to account. The rest of the operational team are Colonel Brendan Hollis, Defense Intelligence, CIA, U.S. Air Force, Senior Trial Counsel, and now prosecutor. James C. Johnson, U.S. Army expert, 20 years on conventional and special operations, Chief of Prosecutions for the SCSL. Alan Wright, 30 years, Defense Intelligence, recalled from retirement to head up investigations at the Special Court of Sierra Leone. Stephen J. Rapp came on board as chief prosecutor for a short time of experience from Capitol Hill, where he served with the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee sometime before. It came as no surprise to me that as a reward of sorts for Stephen Rapp's diligence in the execution of U.S. foreign policy objectives through these ad hoc tribunals, he was appointed U.S. Ambassador Allied for War Crimes issues. In support of the contextual framework of politics, on February 8, 2006, Lieutenant Colonel David Crane, prosecutor, appeared before a U.S. Congress Subcommittee on Africa, Defense Exhibit D404, and spelled out in clear terms the decision taken in support of regime change in Liberia and what needed to happen to solidify that process. There was little mention, if any, in his testimony about Sierra Leone. And here is what he said. I posit that 5 years from now, when the international community is challenged by other crises, Taylor in Calabar, under the protection of Nigeria, will make his move. We will wake up one morning and watch on CNN as Taylor rides triumphantly down the main street in Monrovia to the executive mansion, daring all of us to come and get him. Unless he is handed over to the special court for Sierra Leone, this scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the special court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the Nigerian nation was spared from threats and intimidation, as explained by Femi Kayode, press secretary to President Obasanjo, the Nigerian head of state, who was with him in Washington when President George W. Bush promised, and I quote, to bring Nigeria to its knees if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pairs and remain steadfast, resolute, and unwilling in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
Come on. I know you're sleeping. I gotta wake up small, yeah? Okay, let's go.
Monday again. Sorry for that breaking transmission.
Come on.
Junkies Morris is again here on this fresh Monday's edition of the program Freedom Heart Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and hello, bonjour, salut, bonsoir, tout le monde. Whether you are following us from Liberia or any part of the world, I want to say welcome to our Monday's edition of the program Freedom Heart Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. To our social media followers, welcome. Welcome to our many listeners out there in Radio Land. Follow us via the frequency 87.9 FM. I'm Junkies Morris again this evening in your company. And I want to say welcome to the program Freedom Heart Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. So when we are back, we will quickly recognize our social media followers. And dig deep into our talking points as Bwaka officials clash over delayed salary payments and other administrative issues.
work for people crying from hunger.
Prompting one of the officials to threaten a resignation from the government of Liberia. Headed by Mr. Bouaka, the president of Liberia. Why President Bouaka also visited the NAFA program today.
Where you at? Where can we stop us? Stop sleeping.
A program before I came on the radio. Many pundits, political pundits,
let's go.
were arguing that it's a legacy of the then Weah regime or the President Weah's administration. That's the National Aquaculture and Fishery Authority. Mother Emma Glasgow wasn't attending. And the case with Jerry Lemekpia, who was praising Yeke Koluba during the campaign time, that Yeke is a very great man, and Yeke is that important to Liberia's politics because of the role he played at the time when he was renting on former President George Manuel Weah. Now, Jerry Lemekpia have twisted his tongue, say other things, criticizing representing Yeke Koluba, who in fact is covered under Article 42 of the Liberian Constitution to express himself freely, representing the people. OMSM Science Senior cautions the government not to politicize intelligence, which is a very critical matter tonight to be discussed based on best international standards and international practice. OMSM Science Senior is cautioning the government not to politicize intelligence.
You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough for time, but they instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying from hunger. Your vision and your mission, your intention, your dedication is poor. You got nothing to show, nothing to show. Why? The government should lie.
So the government is still struggling for evidence against Mr. Samuel Tuah, former Minister of Finance, which leave me, Junkies Morris, with no alternative but to render the government's decision to hastily have taken Minister Samuel Tuah to court as a negligible decision. We'll take our quick break, and when we are back, we'll sum all of these talking points into a synchronized topic when all of us will have our view on this program. So we'll be back quickly and recognize our social media followers and we'll jump quickly into our talking points tonight.
My brother, God can bless anybody.
Win big today with Win Liberia on Freedom FM. Yes, for just $100 Liberian dollars or 50 cents United States dollars, you can win from 4,000 Liberian dollars up to 10,000 Liberian dollars. And for $200 Liberian dollars or $1 United States dollar on Japa days, you can win from 15,000 Liberian dollars, 50,000 Liberian dollars, 100,000 Liberian dollars, and up to 1 million Liberian dollars. For these amazing prizes, dial *255*1#. Again, dial *255*1#. The more you play, the better your chances. It's Win Liberia Cash Giveaway on Freedom FM.
And you want me to do what makes me laugh. And tell me so many no. International musical. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for your authority. Let it come take your love in. Crime stopper here for us. We need sector to your door. Whether you reach or you go. If you see a human talking, enemy, you check. Whoever stay. If you see a don't keep it. I'm a part of the Stop, the people bringing safety to your door. Stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop the crime for all of us. Stop the people bringing safety to your door. Stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop the crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop the crime for all of us. The people bringing safety to your door. Stop the crime and make it peace for them before. Stop Liberia, from the center to interior. Keeping us safe, let's stop the crime for all of us.
Are you seeking financial empowerment, dreaming of building your future? Then your solution is Bokonjida Group of Companies. Bokonjida, your trusted partner in microfinance, construction, and general services. We provide microfinance for many institutions like House of Representatives, the Liberian Senate, National Port Authority, Governance Commission, LRA, Gender Ministry, Corporate Development Authority, GAC, and other lines ministry and agency, with a percentage rate from 15% to 20%. At Bokonjida, we understand your aspiration, your goals, and your dreams. That's why we offer tele-microfinance solutions designed to uplift individuals and communities alike. Whether you are an entrepreneur with a vision or a family aiming for a better tomorrow, our microfinance services pave the way to financial independence. But that's not all. Bokonjida Group of Companies doesn't just stop at microfinance. Our expert construction team brings your architectural dreams to life. From residential to commercial projects, we craft spaces that inspire, innovate, and endure. And when it comes to general services, Bokonjida is a one-stop destination. From facility management to logistics, we ensure seamless operation every step of the way. With our apartment rental and furnished apartment for long and short-term stay, you will enjoy the luxury of comfort. Join the thousands who have entrusted their dreams to Bokonjida. Experience unmatched professionalism, dedication, and integrity. With Bokonjida Group of Companies, your success is not just a goal, it's our mission. Visit our Capital Building office or find us in the Royal Garden Plaza on Crown Hill, Broad Street, or call today 0770-520-958 or 0777-017-603 or 0886-622-599 or email Bokonjida Group of Companies at gmail.com. Bokonjida Group of Companies, microfinance, construction, general services, your partner in progress. New there, do something.
Know that, do something. Thanks for being with us. This is Freedom Hard Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. We are back. Like we said to you before we went for our commercial break. Thanks to Old Man Sam Sion's Crime Stopper. It's a partner to Freedom Hard Talk. And Bokonjida Group of Company also powers this show and that of Win Liberia. So like we said, we quickly go to recognize our social media followers.
And immediately following the recognition of our social media followers, we jump quickly into our talking points for tonight. We have more time for our callers to allow the view of the public, at least in their numbers. It will be good for us tonight. So we will have less time analyzing the issues and just hitting the points. And you come in with your part of the discussion. So we'll quickly go to those following us via the social media. We say all of you following, thanks for following, keep following us. And those listening via whatever means or medium you are using, keep following and listening. This is Freedom Hard Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. I'm Junkies Morris again in your company. Austin Kawa is turning to some technical issues, so he won't be here tonight. So I will drive you through. Venetia's Junior Bar is following us from Nuclear Town. Siliki Traore is also following us. George Watkins Jr. is following and watching us from the headquarters of Honorable Solomon Chipo in District 13, Mosurado County. Stanley Bosso is also following from his Congress City. Melvin Nathaniel Roosevelt is following us live from Morovia, Tartus. Rene Nunch Jiple is following us from Jacob Town, and William W. Wulu is following us from Caldwell. Saturday Zonwe Wonduwell is following from Atlanta, Georgia. That's the United States of America. S. Campbell Jr. is watching us from Grand Creek County. Phil L. Morris, good evening to you, or good morning or good afternoon there, because I know you are in the diaspora. Phil L. Morris, welcome. She says, hello, Austin and Morris. Dubon Hill is also watching us via our YouTube channel. Jerrison B. Tokba is watching us from Victoria Island, Lower Johnsonville, in District Number 2, Mosurado County. Abubakar Sharif is following from Clara Town. Patricia Jipla is also following from Nuclear Town. Lawrence Taylor is watching from Rehab Community. Harrington Tool Jr. is watching us from Caldwell. Harris City is following us from New Georgia Community. Mawata Ability is also following. Newman Roberts is following. And Tomansin Ria Kofa is following us from Caldwell, also Somaka Town Road. Phil Morris, we are okay. Yes. Thanks for always following. Kudos, strong supporter of this platform. We say kudos to you. Kingston Jesse Blair is following. Yes, Phil Morris, welcome. Wale Ria is also following from New Georgia ST, West Bassatown. Stephen Fowler Jr. is following from Chinky Soup Factory. And Prince Zizi is following from Broad Street in the old immigration building. Prince Zizi is an ardent follower of this program. Prince Zizi, Prince Ole, welcome to the program. Thanks for following, and all of you that are following. All of you that are following. And to you, Issa Dupe, who should be celebrating your birthday on the 15th of April. Welcome. You are following. Issa Dupe, you were born 1992. You lived slower before, and now you are on Front Street. It's good that you will be celebrating on April 15th. Another year will be added onto your years. So Isa Dupe, keep following. God bless you more years, yeah, brother. Thank God you see another birthday. So to all of our followers via the social media and whatever means you are using, this is Freedom Hard Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. Like we said, Bwaka officials are clashing over quickly a special recognition to you. Man Sarah Tule, she's following. They're from New York. That's the United States of America. So kudos to you. Happy belated birthday to your little girl whose birthday just passed. So back to our topic. The officials of the government of Joe Bwaka are now clashing over salary delay, over performance, and over political loyalty. What is happening in the ranks of the Unity Party now is a clear vindication of what we've been saying, that the Unity Party government led by Joe Bwaka is not a serious administration. It's not a serious organization. It is a crack team of vindictive people. It is a crack team of people who are exclusionary, who are always segregative in their thinking and their mindset, to the extent that certain group of people think that the government is just a property of their cycle, their hegemon, and on that basis, other people who, in their mind, or who they perceive as people who don't support their cause in full swing, they think that those people should be marginalized, they should be outcast, they should be subjugated and oppressed. On that basis, Emmanuel Robertson, who once supported the CDC and went to the Unity Party, supported the Unity Party, and now is assistant superintendent for Morovia Consolidated School System, is in clash with somebody who is far away at the National Port Authority as the coordinator for the corporate security service there at NPA, who is Charles Robert. Charles Robert is debating with Emmanuel Robertson, who is alleging that the government for more than 7 months now have not paid him, compounded with the public schools teachers protestation that's ongoing. Mr. Emmanuel Robertson is contesting that the government have not given him his benefit for 7 months. And Charles Robert, the fact that he's at NPA getting his fat remunerations, so all is well, and that Emmanuel Robertson is now a full-fledged Unity partisan. He is an outsider and trying to scheme on the Unity Party. And the Unity Party has a doctrine that if you're not a Unity partisan, that they know you that you're not a Unity partisan, you decide to cross carpet, you decide to flip-flop, you decide to align and realign, you decide to betray your cause, you decide to betray struggle, you decide to along the way back down from what you built to join the Unity Party on your own, because you are not captured under their perceived hegemony database. So anything you do, you'll be suffering yourself. There will be no need why you will leave your political institution and go to the Unity Party. Evidence of what's going on. Charles Roberts is staunch Unity partisan, a nephew to Joe Bwaka, who have said over and over that he is a nephew to President Joe Bwaka, is attacking an official of the government, particularly in the educational sector, who's crying on the government for his remunerations, his benefit, his take-home pay. Those are the means by which full will be placed on his family's table. It doesn't have to include clash from a Charles Robert who should be a security personnel at the NPA and receiving his first salary, and there's no need he goes after anybody who is not in his way. He doesn't know what Emmanuel Robertson is undergoing at the Monrovia Consolidated School System, and he's coming out to debunk allegations from this brother who is an official of the government and speaking with authority and confidence that these things are happening. Salaries are not being paid to somebody who is a leader of the MCC. How do you expect a teacher, whether you are volunteer or you own supplementary payroll or you are fully employed by the CSA, which is the Civil Service Agency, how will you get paid? If the deputy at the Monrovia Consolidated School System is not being paid, how do you get paid as a classroom teacher teaching 6th grade or teaching 5th grade? On a reasonable judgment, your pay is in oblivion. The fact that your leader cannot take pay, how do you expect it to trickle down to you? So the brother is trying to link the continuous and persistent protestation by public school teachers and school staffers and staffs, their continuing protestation because of the lack of timely payment of salary and adequate teaching and staff materials and those opportunities and facilities that should be accorded them to be able to impact knowledge into the minds of the young generation. So he's trying to link the fact that I, as the assistant superintendent of schools at the Monrovia Consolidated School System, have not taken pay for 7 months. So he's validating the argument that teachers are right to go on a rampage because he, as the leader who should take pay before it trickles down to them, have not taken pay for 7 months. So this is a clear exposure of the Boakas regime, and that Emmanuel Robertson decided to unearth these realities. He's being persecuted politically by a stooge, a protege of the Boakas regime, somebody who had over and over announced to the world that he is the nephew to Mr. Joe Boakas, president of our country. So, fellow Liberians, these are the problems we are faced with as a country, wherein if you do not play to the gallery of the Joe Boakas regime, it means you are an outcast. You have no place in the governance architecture of our country, even though the Constitution provides for the government to encourage all citizens to participate in governance. If you read Article 5 of the Liberian Constitution, but Mr. Joe Boakas is leading a gang of segregates, a gang of bandits who are only interested in divide and rule and allowing the country to be divided into two factions, as if we are on the war front or Liberia is at war. Liberia under former President George Manneh Weah did not see these things. Liberia under former President George Manneh Weah, all of these Unity Party folks, in fact, those ones that are more leading are receiving monies on our sleeves, on our cover, covert payments, even though they were not working, receiving money from people people in government at the time who are considered to be miscreants, betrayers, and people who, because of the duplicity, they lost power, and Boubacar cannot trust them now. They betray Weah, even though Weah was magnanimous enough to provide an atmosphere of egalitarianism where everyone would have been included. They said that was not enough. All they could pay Weah with was betrayal, ingrate, and stabbing Weah in a way that was unprecedented, that the whole world could see, and Weah had no choice but to give it up. These are the same Unity Party people that are around Joe Boubacar, even though yesterday they were accorded opportunity with another regime that they are now perceiving to be enemies instead of opponents, instead of political opponents. They are feeding Boubacar with hate, with vengeance, knowing that Boubacar is already somebody who harbors personal vendetta. And that Charles Roberts is a nephew to Joe Boubacar. He is not any close to policy response, even within the Unity Party. He's just a security personnel at the NPA who should keep his mouth in that area and do the security aspect that NPA protection calls for. He is not in any cloud. He is not in any position at the level of communication or policy response. He's not in the office of the press secretary to the president. He's not in the office of the president. Neither is this individual in the office of the Minister of Finance. Neither is he at the Ministry of Information or at LBS. He is the corporate security service coordinator at the National Port Authority, NPA. So that means he is a security man. He is outside of the political sphere. Why is he responding to Emmanuel Robertson? Because his uncle, Joe Boubacar, who is misleading the country, is under attack for his misrule. Why is he responding to Emmanuel Robertson? It's because Emmanuel Robertson is informing Liberians that this Joe Boubacar that you people wrongfully place on the Liberian people is just a duplicitous character that is always involved with deception, evidence of his history, and you can go back to it and tell us the rest of it. This individual is not proceeding well in terms of administrative policies that gear toward alleviating us from those things that are ought and not to be part of our society, especially improving the education sector, for which Mr. Emmanuel Robertson is a member. I think Emmanuel Robertson was appointed by Mr. Boubacar to carry change at the MCSS because there had been haulings and pullings at the MCSS. There have been this consistent salary issue, delays, non-salary payment, protestation, teachers boycotting classes, students going on a rampage in behalf of the teachers, that the teachers have not been catered to, in line with just salary payment. These are things that have been happening under the Boubacar regime since the inception of the Unity Party in 2024. So I'm saying here that if you are a member of the CDC or any political party, stick to your political party and get prepared for 2029. Don't fool yourself to go around Unity Party people. They are selfish, they are segregative, and they are people who carry out what I would describe as divide and rule. They are not people who bring people together. There is no single official of the CDC that is in the Unity Party government, with the exception of lawmakers that were voted. I'm saying people appointed or through appointed positions, people by connection from the CDC to have a link to the Unity Party government, unlike that of the then George Weah 6 years from 2018 to 2024. One sedition that is in the Unity Party regime to show you how divisive these guys are, including the master Joe Boakai. So Imaya Rawson is threatening to resign, and they are going after him. And labyrinths, I can assure you, Joe Boakai and his legs won't make us shame. They won't make our junkies more shame. I'm very confident that they will be forced to ask the brother to leave, because the brother have exposed the weakness in Joe Boakai. The brother have exposed the ineptitude on the part of the Minister of Finance, Mr. Augustin Gafwan, who promised such a gargantuan budget, huge budget, that is unrealizable, to the extent that in the first quarter, which is from January to March, the first 3 months, we've already experienced what is referred to under the budget law or under the budget the performance tendency as a budget shortfall. You see? So these people come, they tread on lies to take power. They tread on lies with all of their policies, to the extent that they go as far as exaggerating a budget that is unrealizable in these times, particularly with the global tension that's ongoing. And these people come with an unrealistic budget of $1.2 billion in the first quarter. Just the first quarter, we are experiencing budget shortfall. In the first quarter, lawmakers are running behind Minister of Finance to put him in jail because he's delaying the salary. Is this the government you voted? Is this the promise that Joe Boakai promised you? Is that why you people voted Joe Boakai? To be deceived, to be lied to on a perennial basis over and again, just lying to you and making it like a song. And you think nothing wrong with that? That this government will continue to tread on lies, falsehood, that teachers are not taking pay, lawmakers are not taking pay, but teachers just suffering themselves in the protesting. If doctors want to protest, nurses want to protest, they will be suffering themselves because lawmakers sending sergeant at arms at the Ministry of Finance to arrest and bring to the Capitol building in plenary the highest decision making environment or terrain or body, the highest decision making body, plenary, to bring his living body before plenary to give reasons why he should not be held in contempt for delaying their salaries and benefits, impeding their legislative function. Then you teacher way down the line, you still thinking about pay. That's the failed structure of the Boakai's regime. That's the failed structure of the Boakai's regime. That's why I saw him at the Weah's Legacy program. I laughed. And pundits who I listened to, many of them were right in their majority, saying that for NAFA is a case study of Boakai, lack of any development plan, and Boakai not being able to break ground for any new project and just riding on the legacy of President Dr. George Manuel Weah to think that he can gain the favor of the international community and that of the Liberian people. But yes, what Boubacar has forgotten about. NAFA was a two-flair bulldog. NAFA was a sleeping giant. NAFA did not have any place in our political discourse, in our financial dealings, in our revenue collection. NAFA was nowhere. But under a George Weah's regime, NAFA started to boom through the leadership of Madam Emma Mattia Glasgow, the then Director General of the National Aquaculture Fishery Authority. When President Weah took over, NAFA transformed dramatically that no one could get over it. Boubacar, he goes to the program, he talks about responsible leadership. Boubacar talking about responsible leadership at NAFA's program. Think about it. A Boubacar speaking to Liberians about responsible leadership at a George Weah's legacy NAFA program. It's ironical. In my mind, it sounds like a clown speaking. You talk about responsible leadership, that's what responsible leaders do, and that's what you get from responsible leaders. Who set the trajectory now under which NAFA is prospering? George Weah, through then NAFA Director General Emma Mattia Glasgow. Period. You go to NAFA program, you spew reckless verbiages, talking about responsible leadership, throwing jabs. Boubacar, you still throwing jabs, oh man? At your age, you still throwing jabs, and you can't even throw jabs at the rightful places. You're throwing jabs at the wrong places because you cannot throw jabs on a Weah regime or Madam Emma Glasgow regime at NAFA when indeed the foundation that is allowing NAFA to prosper and develop, and NAFA now is a major contributor to our national budget in terms of the revenue, the aggressive and drastic revenue generation output from NAFA based on the platform and architecture set up by President Dr. George Manuel Weah under the CDC-led government through the Director General, then Madam Emma Mattia Glasgow. You go at NAFA, you use voice, you talk about responsible leadership. Mr. Boubacar? Responsible leadership? Responsible leadership does not allow somebody to come in their office and take their office term. Responsible leadership does not allow anybody to come and have their will in the authority of that responsible leadership. Responsible leadership does not allow encroachment. Responsible leadership does not take trespassing lightly. Responsible leaders protect their people A responsible leader protects his people. In the case of George Weah, then an irresponsible leader, the Bwaka, that gives out the land that should belong to Liberia and nothing come out of it. That one more now already. So I think Bwaka will talk about that land again. That land been finished. That land been finished. That Bwaka and his people were irresponsible to go to a border, a water bordering two countries, leave all of the resources in country and go to the borderland where we should have mutual agreements. As always, Bwaka reckless clowns go there and mine that river bank that should belong to the two countries, and any action that should be taken there should be mutually beneficial. The clowns, the misguided gobblers and gluttons decided to go outside of the ambit of the bailiwick of our country's natural resources and extend it to where should be a borderland, dividing we and another sovereign country, stirring confusion, stirring uncertainty, stirring instability, insecurity, and stalling progress and development. These are the clowns that were elected. These are the clowns that were elected. Irresponsibly go at the borderline where we should be dividing the two countries, and nobody should carry on unilateral action at that spot, because the spot should belong to the two of us 50-50. Under international law, you got clowns from Ministry of Internal Affairs who threatened that he's a rebel and people will die if we are at the time, according to him, temper with election. You know that Joe Bwaka's brother now, so they were all threatening the country. If the brother Bwaka does not become the president, then Liberia would have fallen to the ground, and we would have been annihilated from this place called Liberia, and Liberia would have been totally obliterated. Those were the guys threatening the peace and security of our country. And Bwaka, in his little mind, thought it was good enough to give hoodlums, people who were involved with threatening the peace and security of our country, to give them positions of influence and affluence, for which they try to cross their bound by entering into Guinea. Because by going on the Guinea side of the boundary, it means you have declared war on Guinea, or you have tried to encroach on the land of Guinea, which could be deemed as invasion or secessionism or occupation. So Francis Nyimane then is sitting there, and they've stirred fire already, placed enough gasoline in the fire. The fire is burning now, and they are sitting there, and Joe Bwaka, Wani and Danny, and you get one Richard Kun, a de facto speaker, who is a puppet and a backball to Joe Bwaka at the legislature, instead focusing on providing for the security of our country, especially that the sovereign dignity and integrity of our country is at stake. Is an existential threat now. It has been declared as an existential threat, that this situation had gone for a month now. He's at the Capitol building discussing constitutional review. A man who does not have scruples to sit as presiding over the legislature, particularly the House of Representatives, is sitting when we have pressing national issues, especially that has to do with the security of our country. He's sitting there, even though they were coming from Lofa dancing on the road, acting the small boys, he comes to Monrovia and still not satisfied. I thought he would have called the requisite institutions and authorities responsible to a joint discussion that will allow a pathway for solution to the problem we are faced with to the border. He's calling for constitutional review when he does not have the authority. He's still a de facto speaker. Up to now, the border cannot wield quorum. In fact, these days when I go at the Capitol building like tomorrow, that is session day, the speakers are loud. I will recall the chief clerk calling for lawmakers in the corridors of the Capitol building to attend session in plenary. He does not have legitimacy over the legislature. They are using executive influence peddling over the legislature to cradle and to squeeze to the wall in the corner lawmakers who are objective, who are in line with the law, and decide to preserve the laws of our country to protect the citizenry and protect the land called Liberia. And Joe Boakai and his regime speaker, who is de facto does not have legitimacy and was not legally elected, are clamping down on their colleagues, right to free speech and free participation legislatively. And he's not focusing the issue that has to do with providing for the security of our country. Now the clowns, those are the clowns. Those are the clowns you were magnanimous enough to elect. The hyenas who you gave the goods to, and I'm sure you have already realized that we do not expect even the toenail of any of the goods we have given to them, which will lead us to what Jeremy Pia said during the campaign. I think I should have it here to play so you listen to how the mayor praising Yeke, and later on start criticizing Yeke. Mariah Kong just joined the broadcast. Samuel Banquet Jr. is watching from District 17 Hotel Africa. Ahmed Sajoman Kroma from Perry Street, Bishop Brooks community. Yeah, what's up, bro? What's up, Kroma? Sajo. Mariah Kong, welcome to the show. Welcome. So it brings us to Jeremy Pia. Okay, let me get it quickly. Let me get Jeremy Pia. Yeah, Jeremy Pia. You gotta answer phone for a minute. Okay, Jeremy Pia. Jeremy Pia was then praising Komeyeke. Okay, I think this is Jeremy Pia.
My respect for Yeke is what's the matter, Yeke? You need to see the doctor. This man is a clear example of what commitment, not to individual, but to a country. And that's right. What he says about Liberia. Yeke would have chosen to dance to the tune of We Are There of the opposition and think you can for what's the matter, Yeke? You need to see the doctor. This man is a clear example of what commitment, not to individual, but to a country. And that's right. What he says about Liberia. Yeke would have chosen to dance to the tune of We Are There and enjoy yourself. They want him to do that. This guy stands firm. You know the party to this all out to your home and say the CPP break their back. You can't get out for it. They got win you over campaigning. They got what him pass up, but they don't there. ANC said I'm saying the boy they will be there. As far as they get concerned, it is the rest of the opposition
opposition versus we are. Yeah, you're not going to say people the Unity Party or the Liberty Party or whatever they want. When ANC do something, you will go there. When Liberty Party do something, you will go there. When you be doing something, you will go there. My respect for Yeke is high, right? Let me say this to you. I said this thing to somebody in the past. I was not too involved with this thing. I told them the reason why they have provision for the lawmakers to have chief of staff, special assistant, whatever you're calling, is because even the president needs management. That's why you have a minister of state who is chief of staff to the president. All the money Yeke needs is a good office chief of staff that manages him well. That's all you other than that. The whole place of the guy is exemplary as far as commitment to the cause of the people, to the interest of the people is. You know, a lot of them are like that. They try to get the message in, right? But they are like that. And my respect for Yeke, anytime. There's a friend of mine with a personal friendship. He's a journalist. Just forget the man. He's in Yeke district. He better come in my inbox telling me all the time you're running in a place and blah, blah, blah. Why would I support something? There's no way. If my mom who left the district and said they're running there, I will support Yeke over my mom. That's what I told you. Anyone who calls
themselves. So Liberians, you just listen to the current Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs. You just listen to the current Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs, Republic of Liberia, talking about how he admired Yeke, even if his mother was contesting in District 10, he would have voted Yeke over his mother. What he's saying today, Viola Myers from Plivo Sorokan District, Meriden, welcome. Mariah Kuhn, welcome to the show from Plivo Sorokan District. You guys are welcome. Thanks for following. Keep following. This is Freedom Hard Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9. And I'm Junkies Morris. Jeremy Pia, you got high regard for Yeke. So what happened to the regard you got for Yeke now? the regard you got for Yeke is momentary? Is it a momentary regard? You regard him at a particular moment? So that moment is the moment when he's ranting against George Weah. Then you can have regard for Yeke. But when Yeke is saying that President Bouaka is flouting the laws of our country, he's invading the judiciary, he's dismantling the legislative architecture that has been set up by our forefather, and he's damaging the democratic tenets that have been rebuilt under the gallant leadership of those that took over our country after the war, democratically through elections, and won the overwhelming support of the Liberian people. He's trying to dismantle them. And Jeremy Pia, the Charles Roberts, the Mo Ali, the Kula Fofana, Manku, that of this lady Bamaka Beriti, they are all praising God. Even the Solicitor General, they are all praising and forgetting about tomorrow. I guarantee you, tomorrow is always going to come. There is always tomorrow. No matter what you do, there is always tomorrow. And they will break. They will break. You that say you found will see your face. And kudos on this platform. I want to use this time to extend thanks and appreciation to a Liberian who is resident in the U.S. He's the CDC chairman for South Dakota. He's Rachel Wiasio. He contributed 100 bags of cement to the CDC headquarters construction. It's a good venture. Yeah, on Freedom Hard Talk, we want to appreciate him. It is in the interest of the people, the masses of our people, the vast majority of the people. So we say kudos. This is to see the speedy development of that structure that is to house the original and national headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change. And also kudos to the leadership of the CDC, the Policy Response Committee of the CDC that had a very successful program in Grand-Bassa. Those achievements will go down in history. Kudos to Representative Yeke Koduba, who was also there, and Senator Nathaniel Falou McGill, who led the delegation and turned Grand-Bassa Buchanan blue over the weekend. Kudos to all of you for the effort. And that brings us to our closing topic. That's the Supreme Court or the government of Liberia through the Solicitor General and the Kante Antoni versus Minister Samuel Tuah, former Minister of Finance, at the courts. Before Junkies Morris take Austin Kawa to court, that Austin Kawa took Junkies Morris bottle of water, Junkies Morris should have the evidence that yes, it is true, it was Austin Kawa that took the bottle of water that should belong to Junkies Morris. And it is that evidence that must and that will and that should be proven beyond all reasonable doubt before a court of competent jurisdiction in the case of criminal code C, before one is described as guilty or not guilty. The Solicitor General, because of personal vendetta in his legs, with the instruction from Mr. Joe Boakai, who is involved with political persecution and soon to be politicized, executing people based on political reasons, murdering people based on political reasons, politicized, from political persecution, going after perceived political opponents, to going after and killing, murdering, assassinating perceived political opponents, which I'm saying is politicized. So the action from Boakai and his legs, if care is not taken, the politicization of even matters emanating from the courts by this Boakai clown regime, reckless and misguided regime, greedy, aggressive, arrogant and proud individuals of joint kleptocrats and cabal leading our country, refusing to understand the dictates of the people, allowing constitutional principles to flow through the governance system of our country that will build confidence in the system and allow democracy to flow, which will bring direct benefit in terms of prosperity and development to Liberia. Mr. Boakai is intruding and invading into Coast matter. Mr. Boakai, because they were in rush, they hate against WIA, that they think the proximity former Minister Samuel Tuah has with former President George Weah if they get to former Minister Samuel Tuohy, then it is an easier path, or it is a conduit or a conveyor belt by which they can get to former President Weah. They miss the gun by not soliciting, gathering, compiling, and synchronizing all of their pieces of evidence before going to court, but going to court and later coming back to ask for evidence. Do you see how foolish that decision was? How inept and irresponsible that decision was? So like I told you people on the show, and Austin and myself continue to inform you people, Minister Samuel Tuohy will walk scot-free. Article 61 of the Liberian Constitution protects him. If it did not, then indeed those 3 signatories to that particular transaction supposed to be included in this case. Otherwise, they are only prosecuting, or I would say persecuting politically, former Minister Samuel D. Tuohy, and leaving out the then Comptroller General and Accountant General of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Augustus Jangaku. They are also excluding another signatory, the then Deputy Minister for budget or for expenditure, Minister Samoa P.Z. Wolokoli, is also excluded from this case. It proves to you that this is a witch hunt. It proves to you that this is a political persecution. It proves to you that this is a personal vendetta being expressed by Bwaka through his Solicitor General, who is his kinsman, and Bwaka, who is a tribalist, Bwaka, who is a sectionalist, a religious fanatic. Bwaka is passing through his surrogates and proteges to instill fear in the minds and hearts of Liberians who have made indelible contributions to this country. Bwaka follows my mouth on a daily basis from his actions that are considered to be unrealistic, unpatriotic, and unnationalistic. Bwaka is proceeding in a way that he's thinking in his little mind he can take Liberia after his 6 years term. He can take Liberia and just vanish into Pluto Liberia, and there will be no existence of anyone called Liberian. So that's why Bwaka is proceeding in a way that there are no cautions and precautionary measures to guide the system to allow democracy to flow, where we have competition of ideas, intellectual exchanges, not to be keeping grudge for people. They're either living in the alley. In case a government comes to power and decides to break that place down in the alley and forget what you being former statesmen, all those things, because you go where you can down. The only thing that God used on the earth to easily subdue mankind is time. And with time, you will be subdued, Joe Bwaka. So no evidence. That's why Omen Sam Senior, former deputy director at the National Security Agency, the NSA, based on his expertise, his experience as an intelligent guru, as a doyen of security matter in this country, is cautioning and calling on the government, because of your political reasoning, because you want to go after your perceived political opponents, should not allow you to classify intelligence that guarding the security of our country. Do not mind politics. Don't pay too much attention to politics Because of that, you are going after intelligence matter that should remain classified. This is a warning coming from a national intelligence expert, somebody who born in the field, live in the field, experience in the field, teach in the field, and stay teaching and providing services that are in line with protecting and guarding the civilization that we are enjoying today. So Bwaka is a caution to you and your people. The case with Minister Toe, you people already in court, jurors have already been impaneled. Before you going out there running around looking for evidence, Samuel Toe will walk scot-free. Samuel Toe will walk. He will have a walk in the park. These clowns don't have anything on him. They are only buying time. The clowns are buying time. And they think they are dealing with people who don't know what they are doing. We know them. We know them. Unity Party people are used to buying time. Unity Party people are used to buying time. So they are buying time. They bought time with the yellow machine situation. Even the initial yellow machine, the initial ones that were brought in, sent to the barracks, no accountability on them, or accountable governance. Bwaka rule, under the Bwaka rule, or accountable governance, lack of transparency, close budget application, bad governance, destruction, annihilation of the rule of law. That's the Bwaka rule. Going after every institution, every infrastructure set up to guard and protect the civility we enjoy as a country. That's the Joe Bwaka we're talking about. And he's being cautioned by people who have vast experience in these places to protect the sanctity of our country. Joe Bwaka, we are calling on you that you want to go after George Weah through Samuel Toe. You're pushing a case that should be a national security issue, and there had been no problem as it relates to any national security crack, because monies so appropriated in that direction were being used in line, appropriately, were being used in line with what they were intended, under the guardians of those who were in charge. Those are people who made sacrifices to this country. When you, Joe Bwaka, was threatening the peace of Liberia, they were behind the scenes galvanizing resources to protect the country by instilling structures in place where citizens will be cautioned not to go amok and not to go against the law and play with the gallery of the rule of law. Stop before it's be too late. Your government officials are clashing. You can pay other people. Other people there, they're backing for you because they're getting fat salary to NPA, to lucrative entities. Jeremy Pia, one time he praised Yeke, the other time he condemns Yeke. When Yeke causing President Weah, Yeke a good man. You get high regard for Yeke. You vote for Yeke or a man. But when Yeke telling Joe Bwaka the truth, no. Then Yeke is a crazy man. My God. Bouaka going to NAFA program talking about responsible leadership. The NAFA program you went to, the only leader that brought responsible structure there was George Weah. And that legacy cannot be changed, tampered with, altered, or erased. It's encrypted end to end. So Joe Bouaka, stop the fight. Because as soon as you started fight with you now, then people start saying, oh, the man, Jongi Murray, slow down. Jongi Murray is a titan with the man. You'll start sending text messages from your Unity Party chat rooms. You'll start giving me hard time. Jongi Murray, titan with the papi, that oh man. Then the papi stop throwing jabs. You can talk about responsible leadership. You are recorded as the most irresponsible leader Liberia have ever had. Evidence of the fact that Guineans in arms, in post arms, are on the soil of Liberia with no justification, no clarity, and no information from the office of the president to calm the nerves of our people and bring back normalcy to the lives of the people, to restore the territorial integrity and dignity of our sovereignty. No answer from Joe Bouaka. No word from Joe Bouaka encouraging. No word in line with mitigating the situation. Joe Bouaka talks about responsible leadership. Only a clown speaks that way. So no evidence with this case. Stop pushing the central bank to manufacture evidence. You get evidence, you get evidence. That's why you're supposed to have collected all of your evidence and placed them in tight. Then with the authority of those pieces of evidence available at your disposal, you speak on that authority as Solicitor General or County Attorney or as government. But to go to court and your case is there or arrival is frustrating. For government to go to court based on witch hunt and cases they are carrying to court are dead on arrival is frustrating and is plundering. And I think the government would need to have a sense of atonement. And that sense of atonement will allow recompense where government officials, including the president, Mr. Joe Bouaka, will recognize that the essence of their leading Liberia, the essence of such opportunity being given them is to lead the Liberian people in the direction of prosperity and development in all facets of life. So before I go to the lines, I want to say to Mr. Joe Bouaka and his legs, anything that you would not like for others to do to you, don't do it to others. Right now, you are in peace. Joe, we are sitting down as a peaceful man. He's not hammocking you, protesting, lying on you like you did, that you use money, you steal the money, you do that one. Joe, we are allowing you to flow. So you're in peace. And in your mind, since the leader controlling his people, you think that nobody is suffering in the country, you're happy, your government succeeding, you're okay. You're dreaming. Weah is the most peaceful African I've ever seen. And based on his posture, Liberia will remain peaceful until Weah departs this earth. I guarantee you, Liberians, and you are witnesses, Weah is exerting high level of nationalistic patriotism. And this is a semblance of guarded leadership from God, which the people follow. And with this trend of leadership, I am with a strong conviction that, like I've learned from it, to be peaceful, to be an egalitarian, to allow everyone. I'm of the strong conviction that many Liberians, especially the young ones, are learning from the steps, the peaceful, prosperous, and developed steps taken by former President George Manneh Weah. So, Boakai, stop going after Weah. Weah is not after you. Weah is a cool pop on his cool note, trying to manage your government, help you, provide protectionism, provide, guardians, help you to prep your government up, making sure that those loopholes are being, withheld until, the rightful time for you to leave for someone else to take charge. So Weah is only helping. Weah is only of help to your government. Weah is not taking anything from you. So leave Weah alone. Weah is prepping you up. Weah is providing protection for your government to survive until 2029. You know what I'm saying is true. Joe Boakai, you and your people know it is Weah that's providing protection for your government. Don't go at any confab anymore, Joe Boakai, and make misguided statement like you did today at the NAFA Weah Legacy program when you said good and responsible government, because you are not a responsible government. You have lost part of Liberia's territory to Guinea. You are the only president in the history of Liberia sitting democratically elected that have lost part of our territory to another country. You are a failed government. Your regime have failed and are classified your governance, your administration, Mr. Joe Boakai, for the past 2 years plus, going to 3 years, as negligible. We take course quickly for you to have your say. Have your say. We got enough time for you to have your say on our talking points, particularly the Boakai Maize rule. Call and have your say on our numbers, and we will take you. So you can call us, even though the lines are busting, but let's announce the numbers. You can call us on 086 500 104, 086 500 104, 0776 104 104, 0776 104 104, and plus 231 86 500 104, plus 231 86 500 104. That's our WhatsApp line. Is only for our diaspora callers. Only for our diaspora callers. Plus 231 86 500 104, plus 231 86 500 104. This caller online one, your name and you joining us from where?
Thank you very much. My name is Robert. Political Blatter Abraham Mobay. I'll call you this event on the Congress State Congress standards of Christian and the Marriage Congress for Democratic. Let me appreciate you for your brilliant analysis on issues. Now, Mr. Boakai, as you represent, I don't think Mr. Boakai can believe like people. Mr. Boakai continues to be balanced on the anytime Mr. Boakai man put the transfer to speak like period, you will always please that it's the politics. You indulge me and I'm bad. You come, you be aggressive, people against the stage, you are responsible government. You are not responsible government, you are a government, a person who is leading a project. This is the person who
Okay, Senator.
But yes, if I am not a president for peace, I'm a president with a couple of high good leadership. You were here, but we are now one day doing this. We are doing in a critical amount when you expect. So we are paying a hospital people. When Georgia won the election, 2017, Georgia and West moved to the heart and all you expect with you.
Yes, Senator Ugara, call us.
You want to take Georgia to be like enemy, so stop reading it out in the stand. I even say that you are restoring government, you are investing government, you are put the business in everybody know about it.
Thank you. That was hey, lower monitor. Wow, my ears. Hello. Yeah, this caller on line 3. Junkies Murray is here. Freedom Hard Talk.
Junkie Murray, thank you very much. You are talking to Sadia D. Barkley calling from Buffalo County.
Go ahead, Sadia Barkley.
Yes, sir. You know, the Nehemiah that poor, you want to pour in the mess. Please just say that. Nehemiah is a full rich county. Most of the vote are back out God in the election. But for the Nehemiah, you can remember one bishop from Nigeria said that bro will drink dirty water. And Nigeria men are not talking about water that would drink from the well. The ugly thing that will happen under the government regime. Since the people were funded for the Guinea to invest on our land that impact that regime. This man can't deliver this country. For his youthful day, we saw no legacy for him in this country. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave it there and go back to line 1. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, where are you calling us from and what is your name?
I'm Chi Akanyanaboy and I call from Grandpa of Bicano City.
I'm Junkies Morris.
Okay. I was listening to your show, hey, my brother. One thing you speak on is very touches my heart is the bill and the payment of 7. It was in some part of October the government before the day to and the payment of 7. They announced they say those that don't have US dollar account. If you don't open your US dollar account, you will not receive your money. The 70 and the president that have account in US dollar. And they showcase people they receive that pay and people want after that account business. Up to this time, people yet to receive the 70 and the percent that is the higher pay. Whereby you pay and somebody want $25, and you say I will give you 70% in US dollar. They said that the US dollar, the rate can drop, the rate can go up. And the Java government, they were paying people in LT. Nobody complain why you're paying me in LT. But things that they want to see, they say no, the US rate can drop, it can go up. So that pay people in and the US dollar can pay in LT. Same people open that US dollar account. They call the same or the other one you're paying, the other one in your bank account with misplaced it that up to this time. Then you say you are a mature or a government are responsible. You're not responsible. And that what they are playing is work and play on every other government. So what 70. So the very people need to go at full of that act 7 October. So they shouldn't go around with saying responsible. You are responsible and no simple thing. You can't work on it quick that your society will be certified.
Okay. Thank you. We'll leave it there and go to line 2. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? We are pressed with time. Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is how we are doing from Basel.
Go ahead, quickly.
Yeah, Mr. John, let me comment for the show. You see, let me tell you something. You see, President Bwagana is there. Because running after people yesterday, people elected you for it to be a good man to do something for the Liberian people. Well, you hunting people in that good. Because the government came to power to rescue the Liberian people. Because yesterday, they said Georgia was stopping the Liberian people. So the
Thank you. We'll leave it there and go to line 3. Hello?
Yeah, thank you, Morris. Let me say the person.
Yeah, Hussein Kiau.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition. And I come from Jacobstown. I know Austin is doing work following the show. So I listen to the different pointers.
What you say? What you say?
I said I listen to the different pointers.
No, what preceded that? You say Austin is following the show.
I know you following the show. He's not on the show, but I guess he's following.
We'll see what I will get to do. You better go ahead. Go ahead, boo.
Yeah, so thank you. I saw them in the show yesterday. I love the analysis, the bravery, in a very high critique about government. But let me say this, the law is precedent. When I often heard you saying that summit where there is no evidence, government cannot prove. So if you follow the Brandon Semakar versus Governor Liberia, that case is a precedent case in the Supreme Court. So it's similar. In fact, he admitted before the court that he got a presidential instruction to carry on the actions he took. So that is evident by itself. So therefore, I can say this for a fact. Regardless of the delay in the procedures, that man will go to jail and the others will go to jail because the law is precedent. They have been said, the Supreme Court has said that precedent on some guy.
So
it will be a time.
Hussein.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you justify the fact that all of the pieces of evidence were not gathered and synchronized before going to court by your government, and your government is now, after going to court, already the judge have already impaneled the jurors that should be over this case, and your government is still struggling for evidence.
No, so you in fact you have one of the best in the history of our country, the Justice Minister, and that of the Solicitor General. No, to be honest, we have disagreement on different national issues. But if this case was in the past, there would have been some interference by the executive. And even international partners, the different bar associations across Africa and the world have acknowledged and even appreciating the president, the executive, for not interfering with judicial matters.
We'll see. Listen, that PRO you own. This same president had over and over been criticized of interfering with the legislature when he even said he will work with the majority black. This same president have interfered with the court. In fact, you are aware that the president interfered with the case that had to do with former speaker or Fonati Kofa. So you cannot come here with PR and say President Bouaka.
Let me say this. I love sometimes when you want to show and read some of those constitutional provisions, because some of us who are in government, we love people to be, evidence-based. So I love the way sometimes you cite some of those provisions in the Constitution. No, any interference by the president into another branch of functions of another government, another branch of government, is impeachable.
It's impeachable, but because listen now, Hussein, because the government headed by Mr. Bouaka has a stooge at the legislature as the de facto speaker, and I'm posting him on a regular basis. That's why actions have not been taken, because who initiates impeachment proceeding against the president when he violates the Constitution? It is the legislature.
So let me get everybody have to come true. So look around the legislature. Let's agree that the legislature, president, House of Representatives, remove their speaker. Remove by who? 55% of CDC lawmakers go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, the bench, the court.
What do you call CDC lawmakers? People who cross-carpeted, belly-driven, people who have stomach in wheelbarrow and cross-carpeting. That's what you call it.
Look at the Supreme Court.
I see you.
The current Chief Justice was appointed as Associate Justice by the former president.
See you. Go back to line 1. Hello.
Yeah, your name and where you joining me from?
My name is Emmanuel. I'm joining from Banafe Junction.
Go ahead, Emmanuel. What you
Yeah, Daddy, I'll call you Daddy because you are my elder. Joseph Human Burger and deceive the Liberian people. I'm calling a government responsible government is irresponsible government. I would say this: my early 20 years, when I use a year anything that all Guineans, soil, cloth, a boy, a company to that. So we are 6 years, we're not yet another. But Joseph Newman Baka has sold this country. But
even during the rebel war, Guineans did not even come here to take our land.
Yes. So it's really surprising to me. Say you're back, I've been monitoring, we are going for when I level a person that speak the truth. Yeah. The truth. Anyway, so we are past there. He talk blah blah, he talk that old man.
Okay, we lost our caller. We decided to give our callers more time tonight, and to also make it regular because it is because of you listening and following us. It is because of you we are always here to provide you the necessary information and education you need. Hello, this caller on line 1. Welcome, Freedom Hard Talk on Freedom FM 87.9.
Yeah, I'm studying SK Dominic from Pastor Stanley.
Welcome from Bison.
Yeah, you see, Joseph Boaga is not innovator, so he will always see Jowia's legacy. You see why he did over there on the NAFA business, on the NAFA program. I mean, NAFA would never knew that NAFA was in Liberia here. That Jowia unveiled NAFA. You see? So then you can talk about responsible government, whatever responsibility you have in you. And a best role, a best liar is always a role. You see what happened? The United States government can lie too much. They stay lying to us until they go into international water to steal from there. They have made the Guinean army to come on our land and took it for us. You see, the irresponsibility that this government has.
Okay.
This government is not responsible. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave it there. He says Boaka government is not responsible. Evidence that our land has been encroached on by Guinean forces, and Boaka is doing nothing about it. This caller, your name and where you joining us from?
Thank you, Morris. This is Edmond, and I'm the visual educator that they're pushing for.
Yeah, Edmond Kai.
Of President we are.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah, let me say hi to Austin. I know you're following.
Yeah.
So, the United Party people claim that they have all of the experience and the knowledge, but sometimes the way they get discussed the issue can be looking so funny. What do you call President Case? You know why it's President Case? President Case is not somebody telling you, say, oh, I know a happy, but I will not direct it to do so. What direct the finance minister to release money? Then you compare that to that of Brandon Samuka because you say they were eligible to sell who told you to go take the money and you say, so say something say you were not directed for the president to utilize the money security-wise, then that means he will go to jail. And the guy has taken it the way the Attorney General do.
Yes.
The Attorney General will just not be involved. He just stop lose play.
Yeah, so it's a preconceived situation against Minister Toy and other people.
Okay, because you hear the brother say, they will go to jail. Why is they happening? You see everything. They go to financial intelligence. They can't get nothing. They go to central bank. They can't get nothing. So where are they going to get it from now? And I think that security we're talking about here, when you testify hardcore security information. They don't know that you have to go to jail for 20 years. This is why we believe we're here too. And this is not only about Liberia.
Yes.
All of international partners are involved in this thing. How you handle it, how you talk. This is not the party for the CDC.
No.
Okay? But they don't know.
They know.
You know what you play with? You know what you play with? For getting the eye, listen to Senator Guerrero say the men where they took the money to count how they go eat it, then they got tossed they use it for security.
But I want a clown.
Yeah, the election commission can be having money in their budget. They come on, man, to do the general. That money that you talk about on a net, it is for voting time, the police, immigration.
Yes, fire service, all the people that can provide protection, that money they can give them as stampede, DSA, which is daily.
You see the clever people?
Yeah. So if they give fire service, immigration, the daily subsistence allowance, which is a DSA, they all that wanted that 81 trace where the fire service people and the police people went to collect ballot boxes, all the different things. You might well expose them now how they cheated in the election in Nimba. You seen the influence of the late Senator Prince Johnson.
Yeah, of course. And we are now. They are having serious security matter on here. They are unable to address it. Because of who Bwaka is. Bwaka lack the ability to solve problems. Unity Party, when you talk about Unity Party break down. This particular group of people that win the government to the city election, it was not Unity Party. It was angry group of people put themselves into alliance and they came together. That caused them to win that election.
Sure.
If they want to get the Unity Party, they could not win that election.
Sure.
When you came to CPP, you destroy CPP until today. Nobody gets that for CPP. Everybody found that political party because Bwaka to CPP is destroyed. So this is why he has come to do our country. He did Domonia with this Sierra president sitting in his country. He wanted to make the hit on her. Then somebody was telling me the last one was trying to talk about taking Greenland around the Doma region or Dema.
Greenland. That is around the North Pole area, close to Canada.
So what did the guy do? The guy deployed their army. And not because the America.
It mean the America, but they immediately deploy the army for deterrence. Yeah. I like that.
Men are here.
But
people are fearing, we are here.
Bwaka have proven to be a weakling. Nothing more, nothing less.
And mind you, who are looking at it, the guy who make use of the opportunity and clean more territory. Tomorrow when new president comes, they find it difficult to reclaim. But our prayer, our house citizen in local country, we pray for the best, and we hope that it gets better for them. But for now, those are all in the opposition. We don't have the army, we don't have the police, we don't have the cash. They are president that is so loved, and they are traditional brother that they are so uncle they are voted for over the years. They have let them down. But we say to them, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We are here. 2029. Make a sound decision so that it can be better for you. Thank you, my dear brother.
Thank you. We leave it there and take squeezing 3 more calls. Hello, your name is joining us from where? Hello, where are you calling me from?
I'm calling from Kentucky.
So what your name? My partner name Junkies Morris.
Okay, my name George Brower.
Okay, go ahead quickly. 30 seconds.
The man was full car parking. No, full car parking. Men for the summer year agriculture. Today, he can't say that may not be able to say that my one has taken yet to flush the poor, but because you don't get the mind or protecting the security, the only is going to be. You see, how long to go to the owner to take all the people from there? They're not okay. That man we told you say that man from Freetown. You know, Liberian.
Thank you. We'll leave it there and take our second to the last call. Hello.
You're not sucking for them. Bro, Duncan Morris, how you coming?
By God's grace, I'm guarded.
Okay, thank you for your topic on that discussion. Thank you for whatsoever you are doing for us. By the way of introduction, my name is Fanny Kiati, 1 million reaction follower of Abraham Kosi Williams.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Morris, I want to ask this question. When you have your father in the home, and their father, he dead, he not taking care of the children in the home, the children struggling, different men, different to a heart, enter in the heart, start eating the children, the woman. How will you call this father?
Irresponsible. Irresponsible. Period.
This government is irresponsible because the government don't care for the citizens of this country. The youth are suffering in this country. The youth, like bro, we are regretting. We are regretting ever and ever in this country. We are regretting why we should elect the irresponsible leader that we get today. Because all the people tell us, when you ask the people what really they may have done, and they may get experience. So this is the kind of experience that we are seeing today. 42 or 48 year experience, is this the kind of experience we getting today? Because look at the youth. Where's the future of us? We do have no future now. Who will be our competitor? Who will hear our voice? Who will hear our cry? We are suffering. No job. We are hungry. We want to eat. No food. When they pay for you to eat, where will you get food from? How will we carry the case? What we will really do? Don't worry.
We'll leave it to God. We'll leave our own with God.
Really, it's very sad, bro.
Okay.
It's very sad.
Okay. Thank you for your call. We'll leave you there and squeeze in our last call. Hello. What is your name and where are you joining me from? This is Freedom Hard Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9.
Mr. Duncan, how do you do? Always, how do you do, bro?
By God Almighty grace, I am guarded.
Okay, this is Dickie Amangafon. I call from my unreal resident around the Bomi County. And it be my imagination when the president will say responsible government. It is the only country in the world that uses flare. Solomon get one flare. Koya get one flare. And even if Solomon go down, there's another flare around the Puna body. So it be my imagination to see a old man I'll be telling her that he's responsible, going to the NAFA program and nothing that he's responsible. But you know, we fight to go to where we are. And whether we went there legally or illegally, we accept it as it is. Because the only government I will discuss that polar dispute will be the next government of Empire. But for Joseph Baka, the next 10 years, he can even be in power. Don't many with me as well, they will me a Konya. Because he don't have the diplomatic harassment. So even discuss with Domoya for the second time. So leave as it is, look out with me where they are. And there's the only government I don't even know I was square man. After your men are working with public way and all of that from the information.
Yeah, I will call the PRO there. I will call Tommy Benjamin Myers.
And I saw one labor from where's our square man? Responsible government, where's our square man? Our total square man for that. Yeah, tell you.
Okay.
Because, you know, you can just come from the blue sky and just from the wind. Why not when my man had the kind of government get consider as it is? Man, they don't know.
Okay. We will make this exception and squeeze in this last call. Hello. Hello? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Roosevelt Tobot speaking from Chocolate City.
Go ahead, Mr. Tobot.
You know, I'll just talk only two things. Number one, I'm giving you parable where you should travel with. You know Bofra?
Mm-hmm. Wow, the parable mess.
But we show them all of the crowd.
Issa Dupe, you will be celebrating April 15, your birthday, making you 34 years of age. Oh, the brother born 1992. He's living Front Street. He lived Slave Road before. His friends call him Zori. Issa Dupe. Happy birthday to you. All of our followers, Mariah Kuhn, following from Pligo Sedoken District, Viola Miles.
National cake, so everybody can have a taste.
This is a session. Were you the power man?
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my brother. Thank you. I call him Pablo once more.
Yeah, we already talking, so we call it. So Viola Myers from Pligo Sedoken District. Wow, my brother just joined us via our YouTube channel. He's watching from Minneapolis, that's Minnesota, the United States of America. Roland Debito, Abraham, Gapo, Fambule, Lawrence, Mwapo, Michael J. Momo, Emmanuel Bro, Viola Miles, Joe Rauzau, the chairman of Bravs Rufaway Community, George V. Dare, watching from Water Street. Helen Dishu is watching. Lawrence Morba, Ricky is also watching. Alfonso Boku is watching us. Robert Cooper is watching. And all of you, thanks for following us. Keep watching. Keep following Freedom Hard Talk here on Freedom FM 87.9 from Mondays to Thursdays, 8 to 10 p.m. each Freedom FM Hard Talk broadcast day, 8 to 10 p.m. Join us tomorrow. Hopefully when Austin will be joining me as we drive you through a lot of issues confronting our country and making sure that we make recommendations that are in line with mitigating the problems we are faced with. So for my everyone that have been following, again I'm Junkies Morris. I've been here in your company from 8 o'clock. And like I said, I will be with you alongside Austin Kawa, who is the host, and I'm Junkies Morris, the co-host. We'll be here tomorrow, same time, same station. From my end, I want to say bye-bye. Enjoy yourself and keep glued to Freedom FM 87.9.